Support Court with Judge Van Der Bee is now in session. Judge's case number JVB 2003, Morris case.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You all may be seated. All right, Mr. Morris, you brought this case before the court. What's going on?
Well, I come to you today, Your Honor, because I'm trying to get my child support reduction.
Okay. All right. Based on what? Like, what's going on?
Well, I currently pay $880 a month for...
Wow. Right from the start, the tension is palpable as Mr. Morris steps into the courtroom asking for a child support reduction. You can already feel the stakes. A father trying to hold on while facing a potential move to Florida with his kids. But wait, is this just about money or something deeper? What would you do if your child's other parent suddenly wanted to relocate? Would you fight it or try to negotiate? 46-230.
...is to move off to Florida.
Okay.
And, Your Honor, I'm not going for that.
All right. Did she tell you why she was trying to move to Florida?
Because she just want to live her best life.
She said that?
That's what it is. She want to go to the beach, drink coconut balls, whatever they have out there in Florida, and just have her best life.
Okay, wait a minute. So did she actually tell you that, or you interpreting her as living her best life?
Your Honor, why would anybody else want to move to Florida? That's Paradise City.
Well, I mean, I kind of want to move too, but I can't go.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I got to work. So could it be for a job?
You know, Your Honor, I haven't asked, because when she told me that she wanted to move to Florida, I got so upset about the fact of losing my kids that I was like, are you moving to Florida for like vacation time or just so you can live your best life? Or because we in Texas, I'm in Texas. I'm a good dad.
So what did she say to that when you said, are you trying to move to Florida to live your best life?
She said, yo, you shouldn't have messed up.
What did you do?
It's a long story, Your Honor. I could tell you how we split up, but I kind of messed up.
Well, I have time. Do me a favor. Do me a favor. I didn't even realize you had gum in your mouth till you start smiling. You know, I don't allow gum chewing in here.
I'm sorry, Your Honor.
Oh, it's okay. You can just put it to your back of your throat. I'm not gonna tell you to swallow it. I don't think that's really healthy.
Yes, ma'am.
But I have time for the story when
Mr. Morris tells his side, the beard story. Okay, this put your bid in phrase, that's some colorful courtroom slang. But beyond the humor, there's a serious backstory about trust, infidelity, and broken promises. Mr. Morris admits he messed up. Owning his mistakes adds raw emotion here. The judge's reaction to gum chewing? A small but humanizing moment that reminds us this is real life, not just legal jargon. What's your take on how personal issues like this affect co-parenting?
And I saw it and I said, man, I'm gonna have to put my bid in as soon as class is over. So
bid, that's what they call it.
Yeah,
okay.
we call it put your bid in.
All
You know,
right.
I'm sure there's other people that put their bid in too. So if I got the highest bid, of course I'm a getter, you know?
Oh, so you subcontracting these things now?
I was, yeah. At that time I was subcontracting, you know what I'm saying?
Interesting.
Right.
Keep going.
So I saw her in the hall and I came to her and my bid won. And we was together for years, Your Honor. We were together for years. We have 2 kids. We have a 5-year-old and a 10-year-old.
Okay.
Throughout the time, and as life just went on, we just started kind of fading, Your Honor. I'm a coach. I'm a football coach at a college.
Okay.
And one of the cheerleading coaches kept hitting on me. And I kept rejecting her.
So you put a bid on her too?
She put the bid on me, Your Honor. Oh. Yeah, she put the bid on me. So I gave in to that bid. She had a high bid. And at the time, my lady, she wasn't putting in no more bids on me. She wasn't cooking me dinner. She wasn't massaging me like she used to. She wouldn't even let me watch sports on Sundays, Your Honor, because she wanted to watch The Bachelor. So it just...
Miss Adams' response, reality check and emotional weight. Now, Miss Adams drops a bomb. Mr. Morris's transactional view of relationships and parenting. She points out he didn't even mention their kids' names. That's cold and telling. She also reveals her real reason for moving, a new job, not just living her best life. The clash here is intense, dreams versus responsibility, resentment versus necessity. Have you ever seen a couple struggle with balancing personal growth and parenting? What's fair here?
But she didn't ask for the kids.
Okay, yeah, I get it. Anyway, so going back to evidently I'm just going to Florida for a permanent vacation. I'm actually going for a job.
All right.
So what's that job?
Robert, and I'm gonna be a marine biologist.
That's a good job.
When this dream come apart? Because you ain't had this dream when we met.
See, exactly. Do you ever listen?
Miss Adams,
sorry.
I need you to talk directly to me, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
And Mr. Morris, I've given you an opportunity to speak. Let me hear what she has to say.
You're right,
and
Judge,
people
I'm sorry.
can change dreams. I mean, depending on how long you guys have been apart, a lot could have changed in her life.
It's just she taking my kids, Judge. It's
Okay,
just-
well, let's hear what she has to say.
You're right. You're right.
She said marine biologist, right?
Yes.
That sounds like a really good job, and I want to hear about it. See how much money she makes.
She
all
just
right?
having random dreams, Judge, but it's all
Okay,
good.
that's great, but I need to see how much money she's making.
Right.
Okay?
I'm sorry.
All right.
Yeah, less talking, more listening.
And you do the same thing. All right, now, continue.
Jesus.
So I'm taking the kids to Florida because I have a greater job opportunity.
Okay.
And, you know, it's so interesting to me that he says that he sees the kids 4 times a week. I guess he's talking about maybe a FaceTime call or seeing them on his phone screen, because I certainly don't see him picking up the kids and taking them to the doctor and cleaning up vomit in the middle of the night. So it's great that he thinks that that he's paying for the right to see his kids, and that there are people who don't pay child support and who see their kids a whole lot, Judge. That tells you everything you need to know about the transactional nature of relationships. To Mr. Morris. So
Financial realities and child needs. Miss Adams breaks down the financial impact of the move: higher rent, flood insurance, organic vegan groceries for their kids. This challenges Mr. Morris's assumption that $880 a month is too much. The judge highlights that kids don't just magically get what they need, no matter where they live. This section raises a crucial question. Should child support adjust with changing living costs? How do you think courts should weigh these factors?
and they need to grow up big and healthy and strong so they can be college athletes like you want them to.
Okay, so Miss Adams, you said that your rent is going up $800.
Yeah.
You have to pay flood insurance. The children's diet, they eat organic food and they're vegan. Okay, so are you using the child support for flood insurance and rent too, or are you using it to feed the kids? I just want to make sure I'm clear on what it is that you're saying in regards to his request to get a reduction.
Yes, Your Honor. So the thing is that if I was living in a one-bedroom because I was by myself, my rent would be a lot lower.
Parenting time dispute and moving without permission. Here's the kicker. Mr. Morris claims he sees the kids 4 times a week, but Miss Adams says it's mostly inconsistent FaceTime. Plus, she reveals Mr. Morris moved just outside the geographic. Court restriction, technically lifting it, but without court permission. That's a major red flag. Have you ever dealt with legal orders and restrictions like these? What do you think about moving without court approval in a custody case?
Inconsistent. Right now, do you all operate under a standard order where it's like first, third, and fifth?
He has every weekend and I have during the week.
Okay, so every weekend he has.
Right.
Okay. During that every weekend, it's inconsistent, is what you're saying?
I mean, it's just all over the place. He just comes and goes and sees the kids whenever is convenient to him, or maybe his girlfriend like turns him down for a date or whatever.
Okay, so that was petty.
What girlfriend you talking about?
We didn't have to go there. We didn't have to go there. So is that what the issue is? Like, you're still mad at him about that story that he told?
Well, okay, so he put in a bid for an upgrade, or the upgrade put in a bid for him or whatever, and now I have to explain to our son why our family fell apart.
Oh, so it's some hurt feelings there. Okay, I understand. So, have you already moved to Florida, or is this?
Judge's ruling, fair but firm. The judge's decision is both fair and tough. Miss Adams can move to Florida, but Mr. Morris stops paying child support because he can no longer regularly see the kids. However, he still must pay health insurance. This strikes a balance but also highlights a hard truth. When parents move far apart, financial and emotional connections get complicated. Would you agree with this ruling? Should child support end if visitation becomes impractical?
I mean,
It's a yes or no.
no.
Okay. So you're moving without asking the court, can you move? And dad is still living here.
Well, I guess I just didn't understand the way the order was written, because I had heard that if he moved outside of where it said, then I could move out.
Who did you hear that from? Did you Google? You did one of those Google searches? One of the Google lawyers told you that?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, okay. Because they told you wrong, and that's the problem with Googling everything. You should have actually consulted with an attorney who would have interpreted this order properly to you. You can't just move. So let me tell you what we're going to do, because I think this is the fair thing to do. Regardless to whether you say his visits are inconsistent, he say they're
Final thoughts and hope for cooperation. Despite the tension, the judge encourages them to communicate and work things out. Miss Adams plans to call Mr. Morris to find some middle ground. This moment gives a glimmer of hope for co-parenting beyond the courtroom drama. What do you think? Can they truly come to an understanding after all that's been said?
consistent. The reality of it is when you move to Florida, he can no longer have access to those kids. So even if he were coming this day, and did every weekend, he won't be able to do that anymore now that you are going to move to Florida. So what I'm not going to touch is your custody arrangement. Not going to touch that at all. This is a child support court. That has nothing to do with us, okay? So I'm not going to touch it at all. You are free to move to Florida. However, he's coming off child support. So then he can use the money, the $880 or so that he would give you for child support. He can use that to travel to actually see the kids.
But what if he doesn't, Your Honor?
Professional overview and broader implications. This case underscores the complexities of family law, how personal mistakes, financial realities, and geographic moves intertwine. The ruling highlights the court's role in balancing children's best interests with parental rights and responsibilities. For families facing relocation and child support disputes, this serves as a reminder. Legal orders matter, communication is key, and flexibility is crucial.
Why our family fell apart.
Oh, so it's some hurt feelings there. Okay, I understand. So, have you already moved to Florida, or is this something that you're intending on doing pretty soon?
Well, I took the job offer and I've already found an
So
apartment.
the answer is yes. You pretty much already...
Everything but the U-Haul, Your Honor.
Okay. So in your court order, do you have a geographic restriction because dad lives here?
Yes, but he moved just outside of Ellis County, so he's just outside of the geographic restriction, so it's technically listed, Your Honor.
Okay. And technically is what you said, but is that what your court order says?
Well, the court order says Dallas and contiguous counties, and he moved like a mile on the other side of the Ellis County line.
Okay, and I do have a copy of your court order here, and it doesn't mention that it's automatically lifted.
Call to action. If you found this breakdown helpful or thought-provoking, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more real-life courtroom stories and legal insights. What would you have done if you were in their shoes? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We love hearing from you.